pain is one of those things I'm off quotes C.S. Lewis, who talks about, you know, God talks to us and speaks softly to us in our pleasures and shouts in our pains. And I've heard all kinds of ways to describe this, that you know, pain is the loudspeaker for our soul, what our soul can't tell us, and things like that. I mean, a lot of this ends up being how are we going to manage pain. And you know, we go through a breakdown of how we're going to manage this systematically in terms of looking at MRIs and CAT scans and trying to figure out what the mechanical pain generator is. But the longer I've been in this practice, the more I've come to realize that a lot of other factors play a role in our problems with pain and the way we manage it. So I've become more philosophical about it, more spiritual about it in the way we look at it with each patient. One of the ways we do that is, you know, you just have to have a good open conversation with the patient. A lot of times now, within probably 45 to 60 seconds of a patient visit, and asking about their general history and getting a feel for how they describe their pain, they're somewhat startled. Sometimes I say, okay, I know you've got this, but what's really bothering you today? And you know, some people first will be taken aback by that, but oftentimes then they'll go, well, I've got this going on. I think some of them it's unusual for a spine surgeon to be asking somebody, well, how are you doing with your job? How do you feel about your job satisfaction? How are things going at home? How are the kids? But you know, these can really impact on how well a person's going to manage their pain. So we really do focus on that now, because it has an effect on how well they're going to do with their physical therapy. It has an effect on how well they're going to do with post-operative rehab, how they're going to manage the hospital stay. So we really make sure that we touch base on some of those things, that everyone's on the same page as to what the expectations are, what kind of ways we have to cope. And in one situation, we use some integrated health, and we can have other healthcare providers to help us as we get through that whole process.